To play, there's no angels where I go. Only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kira's show here. Now, whenever we last left off, Deku, he had just taken down a weapons factory, along with getting a piece of unknown tech. Now, him, Toru, and Toga are driving away. Toru and Toga are trying to come to terms with something in the back seat of the car. Deku kinda just got all of their friends killed. But at the same time, this is for a good cause. They know about some of the things the corporation's done that are good, and at least bad. But, well, this was a bit of a new extreme. Especially since that they've done a little bit too far today. Toru didn't really want to kill. She didn't need to. Toga, on the other hand, she had really no moral qualms about it. Now, I do believe Deku and these two were driving off, as he would instruct them to stay low and to stay out of sight, especially because of an open wound. If someone sees that, then they're going to start asking questions. Now, with that being said, Deku, he is using his quirk, making sure that they hit green lights all the way, as he's driving a little fast. Now, this is whenever they'd have a bit of a problem. There is a loud sound as Deku looks away for a second. Looking up, he would see that there is a hero on their hood. Deku has his mask on, so he doesn't really need to worry. But the hero in question has his quirk on, along with his scarf floating around. The hero pulling a knife and immediately stabbing it in the windshield, saying that they need to stop now. Deku just hitting the brakes. The hero is somewhat getting sent flying off the car, as Deku would step out. Aizawa watched Deku walk forward, and someone just pulled out his own knife. Deku saying one little thing.
My. The pro hero Eraserhead. How nice it is to see you again. Well, this is a bit of a conundrum. So, what can I do for you, pro hero?
Well, first of all, you kind of already answered my question with your statement alone. I was arriving to see the incident at the building, seeing if there were any survivors. Funny to see a car speed away. No one thought anything of it, but I'm at least happy I did. So, architect, correct? That would be correct.
That would be me, yes, the architect. Surprised, actually, that you know me. I'm going to have to do something about that rumor, but that will take me a minute. Now, exactly what do you want?
Now, with that, Aizawa would immediately strengthen his grip on his knife, as he would blink, turning off his quirk for a second and turning it back on, telling Deku that he just needs to come with him. Come quietly, and this won't be as much trouble for you. You're going to have to answer for what you've done, all the people you've killed. You also will need to talk to some people. Your identity has been hidden for a long time, but we think that we might finally know who you are.
I doubt that. No one knows who I am. Even I don't remember my own name sometimes. But at least throw it a wild guess for me. That would be a little happy. Something I'd like to at least hear. So, can you do that for me?
Well, of course I can, Aiden. Deku is somewhat being quiet. Aizawa knows the current name he's going under. Aizawa is somewhat smirking, finishing his name, Pierce. Your name is Aiden Pierce, isn't that correct? Born in America, then moved to Japan. Stayed in an orphanage until he was adopted. Or, well, believed to be in a shootout. Documents destroyed and a paper trail so clean, you might as well be a ghost. Only being tracked down by a paper from America. With your birth certificate. Allegedly. Now, experts have tried going over everything. Even then, Aiden's not even your real name, is it? Deku's staying quiet, waiting for Aizawa to blink again. Making the first move, Deku would bring up his left hand, putting it behind his back and reaching into his pockets. Aizawa being ready, as Deku would run forwards. Aizawa meeting him halfway, turning off his quirk, or at least what he thinks to be Deku's quirk. Aizawa going to slash out with his hand, and actually trying to cut off or at least hit Deku's mask. If he can see his face, then that will be perfect. So, this will be tricky. As Aizawa would try slashing upwards, Deku bringing his hand outwards and taking the cut. As he would bring up his right arm and sock it in Aizawa's face. And go for his goggles, as he brings out his left arm, and immediately jabs it upwards to Aizawa, hitting him with a taser as he just grabs the goggles, tearing them off his face. He then will just look at Aizawa as he falls to the ground, somewhat still spazzing out. Him trying to fight through the pain, trying to kick at and actually hit Deku. Deku just turning up the voltage, as he hits Aizawa with more and more. Aizawa actually staying down this time. Deku walking over to the car, as Aizawa is trying to recover. He would ask Toru for her gun, her handing it over. Deku pointing it directly at him, and firing it into his arm. Aizawa somewhat grabbing it, or at least trying to cover the spot immediately, thinking that was an actual bullet. As he pulls the dart out of his arm and looks at it, before falling to the ground. Deku walking over to him, and dragging him off the street. Aizawa is still somewhat conscious, as Deku would tell him,
Stay out of my way, and we won't have problems now, will we, Eraserhead? Or should I say Aizawa? Yes, that's correct. You don't know a lot about me, but I even still look at heroes. I look at their quirks, ways to take them down. You're easy. You're still human. Even with that stupid quirk, your drug tolerance is like anyone else. Although, your little cut is going to be annoying. Well, this is going to be easy to fix, though. I know a good doctor.
now. Deku, he would just hold the gun as he would fire another one directly in Aizawa's chest, and walk back over to the car, hopping back in and wrapping up his arm, as they would speed off. Deku actually a bit annoyed. He actually somewhat liked this car, so now he's gonna have to ditch it. Fuck. But they would eventually get back to the hideout. Deku pulling the car into the garage and getting things ready. As he would begin to clear out the car, and at least keep one thing in it. Some explosives. Cops already knew what he was driving, so he'll have to ditch it sooner or later. So, this is where Deku he would get Hakakure out of the car along with Toga. Toru actually being a bit more freaked out, saying that that was close. Deku reassuring her that her quirk, the guy wouldn't really notice her anyways. So, you two. Do you at least have a plan? Yeah, we do. Then can you go over it with me?
If you have a plan, go over it with me. I know that you two were talking in the car. So, if you want out of this, I understand. But just know that...
As Deku turns around, taking off the mask, Toga actually seeing his face for the first time. A bit in shock. Deku saying that he will come after them. He won't kill them, but he will make sure that they are not found. Please do understand, that is not a threat. That is a promise. Besides, post anything on social media about me, I can take it down. Destroy the page. Hell, if I wanted to, I can probably take down the entire site. So, do you get it? As the two would nod. Now, with that being said, Mummy would walk in, somewhat freezing the stares of the situation. There is a girl bleeding, Deku's arm is wrapped and his mask is off. Along with two of these girls having a lot of weapons, and being a bit on the defensive against Deku, clearly by the look on their faces. Mummy immediately walking over, asking the dark-haired girl if she's okay. Her responding with yes, but are you the doctor? No, I'm not. In fact, I'm young architect's caretaker. Wait, you have your own butler? I'm not a butler. Sure, fancy guy. Actually, no. Fancy's the one we're trying to kill. What? Long story. Now, Mummy would call the doctor, as these two would be waiting. The doctor was not busy tonight, so clearly things are going good. As the doctor would arrive to see these two, he would help them by patching up their injuries and getting them taken care of, along with looking at Deku's arm. The long slash mark goes all the way up his left arm, from around his elbow or the bend in his elbow to around his forearm. That will clearly scar, but after it heals, Deku can do something about it. He can use he can probably go through a surgery to get rid of it, so as to stay hidden. The hero will tag you if he does so. Leaving scars isn't a good thing. Him just staring at Deku, telling him that the other surgeries still stand. These two staring at him. Not sure what to say. Deku has his shirt off. The doctor actually stitching up and repairing everything, along with going over Deku's previous injury. Toru, she actually does look a bit closer. Last time she saw him shirtless, it was a bit dark in her room. So, this is different. Her being able to see multiple cuts along Deku's sides, along with his other arm having a bit of an injury or a burn. as his back seems to be covered in scars, and burns too. Exactly what happened to him, along with one very specific scar and on the back of Deku's neck. Someone looking like a branding. A very, very big dot. Exactly where did that come from? That one's the most disturbing of all. Especially since you can tell that that thing, whatever went into it, had to be deep. Deep into his neck. So clearly it was intended for him. This putting her off, as Togo would do something that broke the silence. As the doctor is stitching up Deku's arm, he would just look up to hear, exactly how did you get that scar on your neck? Deku somewhat just turning to them, staring at them, before looking back at the doctor, saying that it wasn't fun. In fact, it's what drives him to take down the corporation. If they fucked over your families as much as they have mine, then you would know that taking them down is top priority in order for a successful society. It's what Stain thinks anyways. I can agree with him. Who's Stain? He's a guy in Hosu City. His previous name was important, but he disappeared around 3 or 4 years ago and came back. At least I think so. He was working as a vigilante before then. Wore a red mask and ran around a bit weird. His quirk is a blood quirk actually, Toga. I think you'd like him. Really? Well, yeah. It's not a blood copy, it's more of a blood curdle. The dude's fucking crazy, though. You've met him? As Toru would say. Deku's saying no, actually. He doesn't really like the crazy ones. Although, the company he keeps is kind of lonely. Him staring at Mummy, who is still looking at this girl. As Toru would somewhat look at him, seeing through one of his bandages. Nothing. Her immediately just jumping up, asking if he's her dad, since she hasn't seen her dad in a couple of weeks. Deku is someone just turning his entire body to hear this conversation. The doctor immediately bring the needle up and trying to move it with Deku's arm, as to not, pull a hole through Deku's skin, meaning that he might have to perform a different stitch to fix that one. Deku hearing that word. Wait, Mummy, you two are related? No, actually. I'm not your father, Hagakure. Her being a bit confused. What? But your quirk. The only one I've ever seen with that quirk is my parents. Yeah. I'm not so sure. My brother would like me to talk to you. Brother? Shit. Why are you even here in the first place then? Well, I kinda wanted to... You kinda wanted to what? This is not how I thought I would ever see you again. Let alone this situation. Now, Deku would be a bit confused. Wait, brother? Wait, does that mean this chick's your niece, Mummy? Yup. Not only is she my niece, but apparently, as Mummy would just run his finger across her forehead, saying that she has a knack for makeup. As he holds up his finger, saying that she shouldn't even be wearing this. Last time he saw her, she could barely even talk. Surprised your dad hasn't told you about me. You're a crazy uncle who works for the big company, disappearing one day. Jesus. Well, he kinda never really said anything about a brother or anything. Of course he didn't, because he didn't want you to think I was a doomsday prepper in a bunker with an entire bag full of beans, or a room full of them. So, guessing you've seen everything tonight. Yeah, I kinda have, Uncle. Along with him getting my friends killed. Mummy looking directly at Deku, asking if that was true. Deku saying that only one of them would have been his fault. But the other, well, actually, none of them were my fault. Everyone was a bit reckless, besides. Take a look at this. Deku just holding up something out of the bag next to him, saying that this is a piece of tech even he couldn't hack into. Do you think you know what it goes to? Mummy just staring at it. If Deku can't hack into a tech, then that means this is serious. This is taking his full attention. Him picking up this piece from Deku's hands. Although, as soon as he does, a piece of it would fall to the ground, being a bit surprised, as it basically turns into a puddle of metal. Deku's staring at it. That is new. Deku just bringing his hand down, the one that's not being stitched up, putting his finger into it and somewhat holding his finger up, trying to stare at it. He can feel tech from this. Huh. As he's just asked someone to grab him his mask. He needs to try something. As Mummy would walk over with Deku's mask, handing it to Deku, and him putting it on. I just moved my mic. Deku would put it on and find that this is a bit cool. Nanotech. Of course. As he looks up to this other piece, it is, from what he can try and scan, somewhat nanotech, somewhat not. Pieces of it are new, and some of it he may recognize. Still, that's not good. So, Deku will have to work on this. The other two getting patched up, along with Mummy getting Toru out of that makeup, and sending her home. Someone talking with Deku, saying that he heard a rumor that a factory blew up tonight. Is that true? Yup. So that's where you were. Mm-hmm. Well, good for you. But please, try not to involve yourself with her again. I kinda didn't. What? She kinda found me. Well, actually, she's that blonde girl who found me. Blonde girl? Wait. Ah, fucking wigs. That one looked good though. Yeah, I can pass for realistic. That's what she needs though. What do you mean? Well, she may have been a bit hesitant, but she's a super fan, remember? Oh, fuck, that's right. Yup, she'll be back. Even then, the next job will be a bit funner. You are not involved my niece in your next job. Now, Deku would just stare at Mummy, saying that his niece is already in this. Her friends died, and she's gonna want to put some meaning behind their deaths. He knows heroes. They always have a motive for something. If not this, then what about the other one? The other blonde? Or well, the only actual blonde in the room? Toga. She is ready. She actually wants to do this type of stuff. So, you mind explaining to me how this is a bad thing? Mummy not wanting to argue with Deku, taking this piece of tech and walking into the next room, beginning to hack into it, or at least trying to crypt it. This will be his biggest challenge, and it may take him months or even weeks to even try. So, this is where Deku, he would let his arm heal. But, well, you have some other events with Toru. She's going to be going through a bit of a change, or well, a part of her mind somewhat moving or shifting. She wants to be mad at her parents. She barely remembers her uncle, and meeting him again tonight was a bit weird. Along with that, she kinda took part in, well, taking out some villains and some bad people. She can't even sleep, she remembers all the action. But she's thinking about it now. Her idol. She's seen him before. His face and, well, everything else. She's seen his strength. But his scars, they tell a story. A really cool one. As she continues thinking about this, getting a bit flustered. As she remembers Deku's actual face, the way he looks. He looks calm and calculating. But he also does look a bit scary. Since most of the time he just wears his hoodie. So all you can ever see is the expression he makes with his eyes. The way they are unshifting and unmoving. Along with him seeming to barely blink through his intensity. Her somewhat thinking about that. She would eventually fall asleep. Although sleep doesn't come quick enough to her. As she would go to school the next day. As Invisible Girl. Now, she does at least not wear a bandage. The doctor somewhat cauterized her wound, or at least what he could see. Through all the blood, he tries to picture where nerves would be. But that doesn't work a lot. So he somewhat had to cauterize certain points of her area, or parts of her face. The makeup was a bit hard to see through, but she's still human. So the anatomy stays the same. Now, with that being said, I do want to leave this part off of here. And I do hope you guys enjoyed. Along with my little plot twist. It wasn't Toru's dad, it was her uncle. Because, why not? Along with that, the way this story will be going is going to be a bit weird for a minute. Since I'm going to be doing a time skip in the next episode. And I actually do want to go through Deku's past a bit more. And explain certain things that I know people might actually enjoy. Because my backstories, I feel like I do them fairly well. At least I think so. Anyways, I do hope you guys have an amazing night.